crazies, and welcome back. My name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady. So I got a message today from a lady called Megs, and her message, I'll just read it out to you. She says she's looking at buying the 6-pack of Aldi yarn cakes and wondered if I thought it would be thick enough to knit a blanket, because she's a bit of an amateur crafter. Now I can't say anything about knitting because I can only crochet. So what I thought I'd do was pop on, make a quick video for you and show you some of the stitches and some of the projects that I've made using that wool, so that you can see how it works up for me, and then hopefully it will give you a little bit more insight into it. So what I'm now going to do is set up my other camera so you can have a closer look at the works. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so this was the yarn I'm hoping you were talking about, which was the knit&purl ombre yarn. If I've got that wrong, please tell me underneath, Megs, and I'll have another go. Right, so with that colourway that I just showed you, I'm actually attempting to make a top, which is it's going to be really thick. It's a winter one. Now this stitch works really well actually for a blanket, because this is feeling more like the thickness of a blanket than anything else. As you can see, it comes up really chunky. Right, so to get this one, I can't remember the actual name of the stitch, but it's increases of 2 for your chain, and you go into one stitch, then you chain 1, you come into the next, chain 1, come into the next, and then on your return you just go into the gap that you'd made previously. No, it's gone out of my head which one it is, but yeah, as I said, this is worked up really thick. This is super heavy, so much so that I can't actually work with this one because it's just too bulky, so I can't work with it at the moment because it's too warm. Okay, then you would have all seen some of you would have seen the top that was in the background that I made with the green colourway with this stitch. Now this one works up quite nicely, it's quite quick, and it's not a bad little idea for a blanket. It's just double crochets. It's a row of double crochet, and then the next row is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So it's really simple, quick row repeats on that one. Right, so this is the last colourway, which is also the very first project I used this yarn with. Now this has got bobble stitches, if I remember rightly that is front post to make the chain there, and then of course we've got the double crochet again. Now this originally was meant to have this as a pattern repeat, and it was one of Crystal from Bag of Days patterns, but this is the very first thing I'd ever done with bobble stitch, and this is when I realised that I don't like bobble stitch and that it eats far too much yarn, which is why I ended up swapping it out and just adding a load of double crochet in. But I also wanted to show you the way that sometimes the colour works up. You do get your striping and it works up quite nicely, but occasionally as it's fading colour it will jump and get darker. Now I've had that in a few spots. I've also had a block of, say, this darker colour here that bounced up into the beige here, so I ended up having to cut it out because that drives me insane. But other than that, as I said, it's really thick, it's really heavy once it's worked up as well. And don't ask, this shawl I think took around 3 to 4 balls to make, which is why it's never going anywhere and it's staying with me. So I hope that helped you a little bit, Megs. Now I did find, because of the wool content on them, that they are a bit rougher on your hands than say your Starcraft DK, because of course that's what I was used to using back in the day, and it is rougher than the other yarns that I have worked with as well. But as I said, I believe that's down to the wool content, because I've not really played a lot around with different yarns with different wool contents and different fibres as yet. Some positives on it though is it's the same thickness as the Aran yarn, and although not the softest, it does hold its shape really well after washing. Now the shawl that I showed you, I made that last year, or a year and a bit ago now. It's been washed umpteen times. It's still holding its shape, it's still kept its colour, but it is still a little bit itchy. But I think the itchiness is down to the wool content, because I'm not really the best with wool. Wool makes me itch. Right, so I'm going to head off now. I hope that helped you. If it didn't, again, pop a message down below and I'll try again. But otherwise, have a lovely day, and all stay in, stay safe, and I'll see you all soon. Ta-ra for now.